Welcome back to another Market Open live stream. We've got GameStop running today. That GameStop news, boy, oh boy, when we saw that during the market close yesterday, probably should have just gone all in because now everyone knows about it. And yeah, well, let's see. GameStop is up. So let's go ahead and see how the market is getting ready to open here. Let's see what the news of the day is. And well, hopefully everything goes green because we've had enough red over the last 3 months. Well, let's get in here and see what's going on. All right, so I do like starting with the losers, which we've got Ocugen. Let me go to this list here. Okay, whoa, yeah, Nordstrom pulling back a little more here after that miss on earnings. They gave decent guidance, but miss on earnings there. 6.7% to the downside here in pre-market. Ride down another almost 3% here. Pinterest down 2%. You've got Ocugen really losing the most here at 7.55%. Then we've got Clever, Social Capital. Social Capital pulling back. This was up like 7% at one point yesterday. Ended up only 2%, and now it's about 1% down in the pre-market. This is actually not a lot of red. I mean, I also don't see Riot and Marathon over here, which usually you do. So let's go flip it around. Let's see how we're opening up. GameStop, here we go. GameStop up 10.5% at $231 per share, dragging AMC up with it. AMC absolutely destroying previous levels of resistance. And I mean, when it blew through 1450 yesterday, it was game on yesterday. And this was that blow through 1450 yesterday. Really incredible move here at $18 now. A lot of attention going into AMC on a potential short squeeze. We know that the short interest is about 22% as a percentage of float. There we go. Change that really quick. Perfect. And so is GameStop. So at least from what we could see at S3 Partners, we're not seeing a massive push of the shorts, but there is a lot of attention going into AMC right now. If we really go back over here to, it looks like January and February, this is where we start seeing some of those similar levels to what we're seeing now. We got an intraday high of 1725 back on February 1st, and we hit a high of $20.36 on January 27th. Right before that infamous January 28th, which was my birthday, when you had you had the whole GameStop Robinhood debacle. Ugh, that was a rough birthday. I think I spent most of my day streaming. So yeah, this is real. These are the other levels you got here. Otherwise, I mean, you're going pre-pandemic. Yeah, let's see here. Oh yeah, you're going pre-pandemic basically. So I'm excited to see this open, especially get this opening volume here. I'm very, very, very curious to see what happens. All right, well, fingers crossed. So we got at 2 minutes to the opening here. We do have Riot and Marathon up about Riot's up about 5.8, Marathon's up almost 5% at 477. Beyond Meat crawling its way back above 120. Can't believe it fell below 100 for a moment. We got Tattooed at $22, just over. We have Ford's up a smidgen here, along with Redfin, EXPI, Coinbase. These guys up about 2%. Xpeng, Matterport, Square, right around 1.5. Let's see, we got about 2 minutes here, minute and a half to the opening bell. Palantir clawing up about 1.23%. ChargePoint, 0.87. What else do we have here? Twilio, Enphase, Neo, Airbnb, Tesla. These guys all about 0.5%. So I think all eyes right now, though, are going to be on the momentum moves over here. And the 10... we're starting to see red at GameStop. GameStop's giving it up a little bit here going into the open. About a minute and 20 seconds to the opening bell here. And GameStop is chillaxing a little bit going into the open. A lot of enthusiasm coming in here after that NFT idea. Just the idea that they might have an NFT is blowing this up here. Yeah, it does look like IPOE is setting up for a little bit of a a nice positive run, maybe. It's still negative here, so we'll see, right? It just broke over 6%. Very nice. SPACs, a lot of SPACs really having a comeback right now. I think the market is realizing they've been substantially oversold. That includes, by the way, Tattooed Chef. A lot of folks forget TTCF was a SPAC. And that was one of the reasons I bought it when it was so oversold. It was just like, it's just one of those where it's going to go back very soon, which it did. So, all right, let's get to the bell. Here we go.
By 2030. I'll tell you, the last 5 years of this decade, given GM's target on doing away with the combustion engine, to that figure is going to be crazy if it works out.
Remember the legacy. Henry Ford. This man can do it. He's more of the legacy of Henry Ford, but that's that kind of wacky ideology. And David, I think that he gets it.
AMC's red candle sticking. We got a lot of green today in the market. What is that? About 65% green, but AMC is rotating to the downside.
He's mad as hell.
Here we go. So we are on the 1 minute chart right now. We got AMC slipping. We have GameStop also slipping. Riot slipping. Marathon slipping. U-Time looks like it's rotating to the upside. Ford also kind of slipping to the downside here. I don't know why, but it just feels like almost everything, with the exception of some companies here, like here, Northern Genesis, Lion Electric, rotating to the downside. I see a lot of red candlesticks popping up over here. Let's see what we got. Churchill Capital. Churchill, look at that move on Churchill. Those green candles came out of nowhere on Churchill Capital. SPAC recovery. Let's see how Tesla's behaving in this madness here. Tesla's also showing those red candles. Tesla did go to about it's about 0.25% positive. More interesting though here is still red on AMC and GameStop. Not exactly the open that I think the pre-market was indicating, at least. On the 5 minute chart for Dogecoin, we are bobbing between 34 and 35 cents. On Ethereum, we're sitting around 27.78, bobbing around, a little bit of a low in the last period here. Bouncing off, look at that, bouncing off of 40 again, just here within the last, this was all overnight here, essentially. Overnight, bouncing off 41, essentially. Tried keeping it up over 40, couldn't keep it up. Goes back to, what is this, 4,300, and now back under, just under 40. 40,000. Interesting. Oh, there we go. GameStop pumping again. Look at that. It was just a temporary. There we go. AMC moving as well. I love how it's like, oh, it's the opening. Let's take some profits. Maybe say some, and then no. We have a run to do today. We have a run. Voyager jumping 9%. Voyager Digital smashed it with numbers yesterday. Absolutely smashed it. Yeah, CCIV UX reveal. Yeah, people are excited. And any kind of reveal you could get out of Churchill is exciting. So there we go. Here moves GameStop. Look at that candle coming in strong. Let's go. This is a 4% swing literally in the last minute here. Here we go. Even more of a swing coming here. I mean, this is really, here we go. People are now opening their positions here on GameStop. Red Robin, up 9.8% here. Marathon and Riot all of a sudden up 7%. There we go. Those hedgies had to do a quick little shell order. And now it's like, no. Let's take over here. All right, we'll see what happens here. This is looking really good for GameStop and AMC. This is the kind of open you really want. Oh my gosh, look at the opening minute volume on AMC. I mean, usually the opening minute is like 3 or 4 million. The opening volume was 25 million. Oh my gosh, that is insane. 25 million. I mean, usually I'm at the 5 minute chart and I get 5 million of volume within the next, like the second or third candlestick. We got a minute candlestick here. Minute 4 candlestick is 4.4 million. The volume is crazy. Oh man, we got ourselves lots of day traders on this one. GameStop, no exception here. Volume, pretty incredible, given that it's 10x the price of 10 more than 10, like 12x the price of AMC. Having an opening volume at about 2 million. I mean, that's the AMC equivalent of also like 25 million. So you've got substantial volume at both of them here. GameStop now moving about 7% within just the last few minutes. Really incredible here. Marathon and Riot bobbing around 6.8% here. EXPI sitting at 2.4? Yeah, showing a little bit of green. CrowdStrike, cybersecurity, up about 2.88. We'll see what other news we have here in just a moment. But it's always nice seeing the opening candles. Pinterest rotating to the downside again with Mind Medicine. Mind Medicine looks like it's on its way to under, possibly $3 a share here. Nordstrom, 9% to the downside. Ooh. Now, somebody here donated $10 to the channel to say that it looks like maybe the shorts are getting out. Maybe the shorts are leaving. Don't want those unlimited losses. That's the danger with shorting. All right, let's hop on over to CNBC for a moment.
38.
I know. Matthew Boss he also had positive questions on the call. I'm going to make a prediction. I think other than Dick's, I think Gap is going to have Urban was a great quarter. They have fashions back. I think Gap stores is going to blow it away. I really do.
You've been saying that for a while.
Well, because I think it's going to be true.
You've been right.
Oh, David, I love
you've been right on.
When he says I've been right,
well, I like to point it out.
I just get so excited.
Your critics certainly love to point it out.
By the way, I want to point this out here. So, U.S. equity futures rise as inflation fears wane. All right, American equity futures, this is Bloomberg, rose on Wednesday after more central bank officials joined the chorus predicting that inflationary pressures are transitory, soothing concerns that monetary tightening may start sooner than expected, soothing those concerns. At the same time as China is doing whatever they can to relax commodity prices. Yeah, iron ore slipped along with most industrial metals, thanks to what China's doing. Plus all of the most of the other central banks throughout the world trying to encourage folks to relax. We're not getting hyperinflation coming. Things are relaxing. Things are going to chill out. It's all transitory. Heard that many times before, but and I want to say 60% of us just laugh at transitory. But yeah, I mean, otherwise you actually have the market starting to believe that a little bit. So I don't know if it's one of those things where, if you just say it enough, it'll be true. But let's see here. Let's just do a quick little look at the 10-year here. We'll go to Market Watchers today. Yeah, see, I mean, the 10-year's fallen quite a bit here, 1.56. I mean, we had our CPI data release, and the thing went up to like 1.72. And at the very peak, it went to 1.72. And it's gone straight down since then over the last month here. Maybe not straight, but it's pretty much gone straight down over the last month starting from that CPI release. Really good movement to the downside, about, what is that, 17, about 0.17. So anyway, good to pay attention to. Let's go to the last 6 months here. Yeah, you could really see just the trend continuing to the downside, that maybe if this has any kind of indication of inflation expectations, that maybe we overdid it, and now we're relaxing back down to more appropriate levels. We'll see. But that could certainly help us explain some of the green that we're seeing in the markets right now. I will say, though, GameStop here and AMC rotating a little bit to the downside, at least off the start. What's taking the cake right now is actually Red Robin. I really think Red Robin must be one of those. Thank you for the compliment on the interview, Jim. I think Red Robin must be one of those where you just didn't have proper Wall Street expectations, because it's just generally not highlighted by Wall Street. And so when they come out with a big beat, it's usually a surprise. And I was just like, wait a minute, I like Red Robin too. It's silly. AMC is chillaxing a little bit here, rotating a little bit more to the downside. Looks like you would have really had to have been a hodler to get in on this move yesterday and reap the benefit this morning. So as far as, let's see here, Dick's Sporting Goods reported this morning. Build-A-Bear Workshop reported this morning as well. It's another one that's been getting some momentum lately. Build-A-Bear. Where's the darn thing? Oh, there it is. Oh, look at Build-A-Bear up 9%. Oh, off those earnings. Really nice. Good earnings beat. And if we go to the after market today, we have Nvidia, Snowflake, Williams Sonoma, Eagle, American Eagle. Wow. Yeah, we got some nice moves here. Nice expectations for later today. Very nice. All right, let's see what else. All right, how's Microvision going on? Let's see. MViz. Oh, look at Microvision starting to climb. Very nice. All right, what else do we have here? So, GameStop. Okay, kind of bobbing around. So is AMC. Let's look at I want to look at the crypto market for a moment. I haven't done that for a bit. Norwegian says 2022 could be the best year for the industry. Hold on a second.
Not there. What is this? What kind of schedules are these?
Yeah, it's funny. The more leaders or organizations that I speak to, the less I believe that this hybrid thing is going to be. There are certain companies that can pull it off, but many that won't. Many that won't. And they will eventually end up being things looking more similar than we expected they might.
Except for
the
law.
past.
Except for legal.
Yeah, the lawyers that may not all want to come back, but even there, I got pushed back to what I was talking about a couple weeks ago.
Some suck-up associates.
Well, that you need to be there. Again, it comes back to culture, and you need to be there. How do you ever acculturate?
All right, we're gonna pull off the discussion about work from home. It's a big thing. It's a big discussion. It's true. Is there a cultural reason being in the office? You can get things done more or not as well. I don't know. A lot of companies talking about got to come back to work. So Ethereum, very nice at 2750 here. Cardano back to about 174. BTC at about 39. Doge sitting at about 34.6. And yeah, it looks like we got a lot of green and even most of the alts here, exception of Sheeb. That one barely moving, 0.31%. Most of the other tokens here moving to the upside after really just a hurricane of a week for crypto. It's been the last 7 days have been very, very, very rough for crypto. Good recovery, well, decent recovery. I guess I don't want to say good because it's probably not fully recovered. IPOE, there it goes, down 5%. Come on, IPOE. What is this crap? That's like a 13% swing within 24 hours. Man, that's a bummer. Oh well. 8.6% on Nordstrom. Churchill also went to the downside here. Churchill at about 0.84% to the downside. Tesla down about 0.2%. But really just focus of the market right now is GameStop kind of flattening here a little bit, though. Sitting at about 10.2%. Build-A-Bear is still kind of moving here at 10.8, 10.1% now. Nano Dimension, here's another momentum play. Nano Dimension moving very nicely along with Microvision. So momentum plays really just kicking butt right now. Redfin coming out of nowhere here. Redfin doing a very nice climb here, up 4.9%. TTCF back just over 22, very nice. Enphase climbing as well. So you got some companies actually climbing back out of the hole here. It's almost kind of like we're getting like the teeter-totter back to higher levels as these inflation fears subside. Maybe the market just sort of teeters up, kind of like gets pumped up. Pump this side a little, pump this side a little, and this side a bit, this side a bit. Ford Motor co-CEO says expects company to reduce electric vehicle battery costs by 40% by mid-decade. I would hope so. Yeah, battery costs got to come down lots. lots. And then you could really start printing tendies. You get those battery costs down, and you could get those down for utilities as well. That's going to be juicy. So those are huge things. All right, let's pull up. We haven't done this here for a bit, so let's go ahead and pull up. We'll do a couple things. We'll pull up Bloomberg Live, but we also want to. I want to just go to headline news on Bloomberg, so we'll pull that up in just a moment here. All right, there we go. Bloomberg Live's up. Let's see what we got on our headlines today. All right, eventually it'll load. Okay, well maybe we'll hop on over to Fox for a moment. Let's see what they have. See if they're talking about any. Oh, they're talking about stocks. Here we go.
That they didn't need to fly people around for, even though that's the way they used to do it. So it's not good enough for everything, but it is good enough for some business meetings.
I see airline ticket prices going through the roof. And I would imagine that a lot of business travelers would be unwilling to pay very high prices for that business face-to-face meeting. So is the high price of airline tickets, is that another setback for business travel?
It most certainly is. That's the equation that they're solving for. They're sitting down and saying, if this is what it costs to fly, is this the agenda of this meeting something that's worth that, or could you do it on a screen? Could you do it with Zoom or other technology?
I mean, that's a good good point. You know, that cost benefit analysis of, are we really gonna, pay for somebody to fly there, and then you got to get a hotel, and it's a disaster. I think the S&P will still correct. I think that's the biggest downside risk, which actually isn't even that terrible, is maybe you get a rollover in recovery that ends up pulling the S&P down. But that would only be predicated on tech still sitting down, because you could have this very interesting rotation, kind of like, you know how tech sold off? So tech kind of sold down, and then you still had the S&P going up. That was because a lot of the recovery stocks were going up. So you could totally have this: tech goes down, recovery goes up, S&P slowly climbs, right? You could have the opposite too, where tech could start coming up again, and recovery starts going down, maybe, and the S&P stays stable as well. So you have this interesting stability in the S&P 500. The risk, and this we had talked about this maybe being a 20% risk of a 20% kind of correction. So the risk is that tech stays low, that the sold off tech and the EVs or whatever, they stay low. And then recovery earnings start missing, kind of like Nordstrom and how they missed. And then you start kind of seeing that come down. That's what would pull the S&P 500 down, not necessarily more of like a tech rollover. It's my expectation. However, remember, I say this all the time. I think the inflection point in inflation will come by September, October, and people are like, oh, why don't you get out of the market? And I'm like, because I don't know when the market's going to start pricing it in. And we're already starting to see the market consider pricing in, oh, maybe we are going to have lower inflation. Stocks rise as inflation fears wane. Right? That's a headline article now on Bloomberg. So it's very, very fickle, the market. And this is why even though I talk about, these are some of our cases that maybe the S&P rolls over in a smaller scenario like that. For me, I don't short the market. I don't short America. I don't short American stocks. I don't short any stocks. And I just stay long on my positions. I just mentally prepare for potential scenarios, but I hold firm to my big bet. So my big bet obviously has to do with this rotation in September, October. We'll see. Of course, in the meantime, there are plenty of big bets that could be made on momentum movers. Look at that, 12% pump on Voyager Digital. Let's go. That's incredible here. Uber CEO not happy with surge pricing and wait times. Oh, okay. Yeah, because there are not enough workers. Right. Okay. I thought they were saying surging prices. It's like, did you say inflation? That's silly. I shouldn't say inflation is silly. Don't get me wrong. There are real pressures. But yesterday, tweeted about this as well, by the way. So follow me at Real Meat Kevin on Twitter, which you could also now follow me on TikTok at Real Meat Kevin on TikTok. I'll show up in your For You page, especially if you follow me. But anyway, yesterday I was really fascinated about the thought of, well, wait a minute. In addition to the September, October thing, when people go back to school, like when children go back to school, not only or children go back to school, which is productive, but that frees up potentially one parent or two parents to work more. and provide more labor for companies who need labor. And that comes at the same time as the unemployment boost expires. So very, very interesting to me. Yeah, you're going to YOLO on Meet Kevin for Governor. You could do that. You go to predictit.org, type in Newsom, and yeah, you could totally bet on me. It's kind of funny. I think there's a limit though. I think you can only bet like $850. Yeah. Anyway, Build-A-Bear doing very, very, very well here. Just the incredible e-commerce flip here on Build-A-Bear has gotten folks very, very excited over Build-A-Bear. Price action has been incredible over the last month here. It's been in social media. People have been very excited about it over the last month. And the earnings today smashing is just a wonderful justification here. But I mean, this thing's up. What is this? 30% in the last few weeks here. So very, very nice. Very nice moves. 11% today certainly adds to that. All right. What else? Voyager Digital, great smash today. Wow. EXPI really doing well. Too much TikTok. Build-A-Bear, I don't trust. Why would you not trust Build-A-Bear? I love Build-A-Bear. I got some Build-A-Bears. Lauren and I got some Build-A-Bears. So it takes 10,000 tons of coal per day to power 1 million homes, but only takes 3 kilograms of uranium. Uranium's very difficult to store after it's used. I don't know what the byproducts of burning uranium are. We know that some uranium is radioactive. I imagine you're suggesting you wouldn't burn the radioactive version, but I do think that almost all uranium ore has some level of radioactivity. And uranium, if radioactivity can be washed off of you, I do wonder the implications of burning uranium. Not sure. That makes me feel like it's going to spread radioactive dust. But maybe that is wrong, right? What do I know? I'm not a what is it called when you're a mineral person, a mineral expert? I don't know. I'm not thinking archaeologist. There's another phrase. But anyway, okay, yeah. So look at EXPI, coming out of everywhere. Well, yeah, I mean, unless you're talking about nuclear power, you dunk it in water and take like super radioactive. I mean, but that's totally different. You can't burn it. You can repurpose, or you have to store. You can wash off immediately after exposure. Geologist, mineralogist, yeah, one of those. I'll go with that. Yeah. Not chemist. Anyway, EXPI, yeah, a very nice move here. Oh man. All right. GameStop rotating. It's almost like the GameStop folks are yeah, highlight container here. Yeah. Well, I don't know why somebody's comparing. Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, I didn't think about burning. Like, it didn't seem right, like something you would do. So I don't know. Maybe Steve T here can give us some clarity as to what you're talking about, because you're comparing burning coal to uranium here, and we have nuclear plants that have really fallen out of favor. For example, Germany shut down all their nukes. I was surprised by that, but it's all in that storage of uranium ore after the fact. Anyway, or refined uranium. What is it called when they've refined? Is it refined? Maybe it is. So you got the U-235. 37, 38, right? Those are the other isotopes. But I think those are very rare. It's like 1% of the minerals. I don't know. Why are we talking about this? EXPI. Very nice. Good move today. Yes. I like. Riot, Marathon. Finally. Good moves. 8 and 9% over here. Workhorse. Very shaded. Shorted. Workhorse is like 33% shorted or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, Tadpole. I mean, I think that's actually a very interesting argument. Look at that. The amount of waste one uses in a lifetime of nuclear power fits in a teacup and can be safely stored. Yep, I like it. I was saddened when I heard that Germany was shutting down all of their nuclear power plants. You know, whereas France still does. But anyway, we'll get off the energy topic. Lordstown, Blackberry. Okay, nice moves here. We got some big moves here today. Look at that. Nano Dimension moving nicely today. Bed Bats coming up. Arcimoto's coming back. Upstart's coming back. QuantumScape's coming back a little bit. A lot of the SPACs coming back. Electromechanica. Geez, it's at $3.04. I'm sorry, $3.4. Lemonade has about a 3.5 here with Microvision and Enphase. Some good movers today here. Shift is still below 7, which is just crazy. Dave & Buster's 2.4, Xpeng, Square. Good movers here. Very nice. Very nice movers. Peloton's back over 100. It's like everything's going up except for Tesla and CCIV today, huh? I think those are the reds. Those are the reds of the day. Bitcoin cannot get to that 40K and hold it. Dogecoin struggling at 34. Ethereum struggling at 27. Let's go to Tesla again here. Tesla's flat. In fairness, it's not red. It's flat. And CCV is sitting at about down 0.5% here. All right, let's see what CNBC's got for us here. Let's listen in.
Identity is what may have helped if Colonial had anything going. We don't know how many things Colonial didn't have, but you get in, you be somebody else's identity, and you can do whatever the heck you want. Zscaler stops that. Congratulations to Jay Chaudhry. That is some move. Wow, Zscaler. Got to be there.
Huh. Do you think Colonial, Jim, was that going to, are we going to look back and consider that a landmark moment for some of these security names?
Yes, because I think the government's going to start prosecuting them for corrupt practices. If you pay, then they're going to find you guilty because ever since Jimmy Carter, you can't pay ransom. One Justice Department phone call, and that is the end. And I think it's going to happen, not just because I've been pushing it furiously, because this has to stop. We have to stop letting these companies just pay ransom. We don't let them do it.
All right, we're going to pull off the ransom
Hear the
discussion
apology,
here.
and I'm going to cover it on my take, which is next.
Okay. Well, let's go to how about Bloomberg. We haven't actually listened to Bloomberg Live in a bit here. Let's maybe give them a shot. All right, let's see what they got. Are they on commercial too?
Rounding out the week from New York City for our audience worldwide. This was the countdown to the Open. Continue the conversation on Twitter at Ferro TV. This is Bloomberg.
Of course. Of course. They all go on commercial at the same time. Whatever. AMC has been a little bit of a sideways trader here just the last bit here, but I'll tell you, the volume is very, very strong. Let's go to the 5-minute here, smooth this out a little bit. Yeah, lots of volatility. Oh my gosh. 5-minute was almost 40 million shares. Oh my gosh. So many. It's insane. 13 million, 8 million, 7 million, 8 million. And then we're still in this 5-minute block here. Wow, wow, wee, wow. Jeez, AMC. There's so much volume in AMC right now. It's nuts. Workhorse. Nice climb here. Almost 10% on Workhorse. Workhorse just displaced Build-A-Bear. BlackBerry. Very nice. EXPI settled down a little bit. Back to about 8.5% on EXPI here. Blink coming out of nowhere here. Blink up about 6% today. Very nice. Arcimoto 6%. Tattooed. Nice. Looks like I sold my option a few days too early, but that's okay. I got a big run on Tattooed. Made some tendies. But wow, very nice additional run here right above 20. Over to 22.5 right now. Very nice. Yeah, I think we've got prior resistance at like 24-ish or something like that. So let's see here. Let's see how well this could run. All right, here we go. So we've been at this level before, the 2250. Yeah, this is where we sat for a while. We sat between 27 and 23.5 for a while. So that's sort of these are sort of the levels we sat at. We'll go draw some lines here. There we go. So I would say somewhere between that 23.5 was a range bind. And if we can get another line here. Apparently we can't. Okay, come on, Weeble. I did not draw that. Come here. There we go. Somewhere around 25.88. Probably this. Yeah, that's almost 3-toucher right there. Whereas up here is not. So that's, going back to our little range right here. All right. So what else? Ugh. SOS really settled down there, huh? All right, let's look at the downside. Gosh, Nordstrom just getting destroyed right now. Nordstrom breaking prior support levels too. Look at that. Yeah, well, 30. It's at 33 right now. Maybe the candle just looks a little messy right now. It's pretty much at prior support levels. So if you look at the priors, we got like a triple toucher here at 33.80-ish. We're slightly below that now. I think the stick is overcharacterizing that a little bit. But yeah, giving up some of this love. But hey, still a really nice mover after the election. Rite Aid and Walgreens down about 5% today here. A little bit of rotation down on some of these recoveries here. Pins down a couple percent. Not a lot of losers though. You know, Churchill Capital is only down 1/3%. Big deal. Tesla's flat, Apple's flat, AMD's flat, Uber's flat. So most things today are green. Like AMC just popped again a little bit here. Oh, we just got we got a nice little rally here all of a sudden at AMC. Look at that. Just in the last few minutes here. Nice pop. Is it going to take us over 20 today? Well, psychologically, wouldn't surprise me. GameStop still bobbing around that 11%. Workhorse 9 and a bit here. EXPI 777. Yeah, EXPI giving up a little bit of the love, but so is Voyager. Both of these guys giving it up a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and see what else we got going on. Let's try Bloomberg.
So I lead my board with AMC. You know something's up when I do that. So what's trending on Reddit right now is hashtag AMC 500,000. So that GameStop squeezing the shorts is definitely still in play with certain stocks. AMC up 15%, even though it got a downgrade from one analyst this morning as well. I also wanted to highlight what's happening with the New Zealand dollar. Broadly speaking, in the G10 space, the dollar is stabilizing, pushing its way a little bit higher, with the exception of what's happening over in New Zealand. It looks like the Bank of New Zealand is sort of inching forward more towards a more hawkish stance, or signaling an exit from the ultra dovishness that has reigned all G10 central banks earlier than expected. 5-year, watch that space. You got $61 billion of supply coming on later at 1 p.m. The 2 was pretty okay yesterday. Sublime is what I heard one analyst call it. Crude even holding up, despite the fact we're in the 5th round of talks with Iran for a nuclear deal. But again, all relatively calm within the market, guy.
Absolutely. Even as you say, that Amazon deal pretty well telegraphed. Not exactly a huge plot twist coming through here, but the blockbuster deal looks like it's done. Amazon agreeing to buy MGM, the movie and TV studio behind Gone with the Wind, James Bond, and of course Rocky. 8.45 billion is the price tag. Joining us now, Liana Baker, to give us the heads up on what is happening here. Liana, that price tag a little better from the Amazon side than maybe some people were anticipating. I heard 9 billion was going to be the price tag. They got a little cheaper.
Right. So the hedge funds that own MGM still get a payday, but not as much as we had thought. For Amazon, though, it's peanuts. Amazon has a $1.7 trillion market cap, and I'm pretty sure they spent more last year on content than what they're paying for MGM. So it seems like a no-brainer for them to jump in here and just buy the whole library for themselves. In the press release, Amazon...
Okay, let's go ahead and pull off this here. See what else we got. Let's go back to the swings. Whoa. Almost to 19. Very nice. Actually, we hit 1906 there. In just the last minute, we hit 1906. Woo! Yeah. A lot of talk about shorts covering. Let's be real. 20% short is still a lot. You know? Yeah. What were we? We were about 22% short. Let's get an update for today. I'll get the latest short data. Usually short data only reports twice a month, but there are firms like S3 that will estimate these. That will make estimates in between those 2-week periods. So that way traders have more up-to-date information. So anyway, I'll pull that up. Give me a second. It'll take a moment. We'll mostly just look at maybe some of the ones specifically running today. I don't want to go through like a whole crazy list again of all of them. Hold on. Give me a second here.
All of their internal initiatives, whether that's on race or equality, lending to those who are less well off, for example, in a sort of preemptive way rather than a reactive way. Again, highlighting a difference from where we were 10 or 12 years ago.
Yeah, you know, I wonder, Will, in particular from the Democrats, are they expected to get a little bit of heat in terms of PPP? You mentioned it. I know a lot of the small banks ended up being fairly prominent in terms of the percentage of loans, so to speak, or aid that was given there. And the big banks, again, maybe fell a bit short.
I'm sure.
Boring. Sorry.
Gasoline, everything is going up in price. And is there any question?
Just give me 1 second. We'll get that short interest stat. I'm pulling it up.
Have something to do with the fact that the federal government is spending more than it ever has before, even in wartime. It's absurd, and I think I think people are beginning to question absolutely the need for another $2 trillion in an infrastructure bill. Now only 1.7 trillion, and 2 trillion in social spending beyond that. I think it isn't going anywhere.
But really, not going anywhere? I have a hard time thinking that they won't get any tax increases or they won't get any big spending increases.
She might be right. They might get nothing.
And if they get even half or a quarter of what they want, it really would transform.
Republicans aren't going to go for any of it.
Well, I think we have obviously midterms coming up before we know it. And there are a lot of Democrats in the House, in particular, in swing districts that have to be somewhat respondent to polling, which shows that Americans are not on board with the progressive agenda. Stuart, we forget America is.
Honestly, that's another catalyst, by the way, for the market taking off, is taxes not going up on cap gains, for hedgies, the 1031 in real estate. And all you need is Joe Manchin holding firm, going, nope, not going for it. The GOP is not going to go for any tax increase or any revision to the 2017 tax cuts, which basically means Biden might literally only get the stimulus package through, and that's it. He could literally get roadblocked for the next 2 years, possibly 3 years, you know, the rest of his term. Still waiting for this darn thing to load.
Of a very important issue, an issue that really matters to Americans. That's not all. In another poll, only 10% of the country identify themselves as very liberal. 10%. And those are the people driving the bus right now. It is not going to work well for Democrats. I think they will lose the House big time as a result of this legislative onslaught. And by the way, the more time that goes by on this infrastructure bill, and the fact that only less than 10% of it is actually for infrastructure, Americans are going to get alarmed, and rightly so.
Gee, Liz Peek, I hope you're right. And thank you very much for joining us this Wednesday. Yeah, you too.
It's a good point. And seriously, folks, it is a real, this thing's still frozen. It's killing me. It is a real catalyst. We'll get this. Here we go. There we go. It's a very real catalyst for the market to honestly boom. I mean, imagine this, okay? Imagine this. No tax increases and no inflation. It's gonna be nuts. The market's gonna go ape. I think it's going ape now. All right. So the latest reading here, as of today, is actually stable with yesterday, but they're down slightly over the last week. Both of them, GME and AMC. We've got AMC sitting at 20.59% short, and GameStop sitting at 20.27% short. So again, AMC 20.59, GameStop 20.27. I'll quickly. I'm not gonna do. This is so laggy today. I don't know what the problem is. I wanted to look at maybe like Workhorse or something, but the darn thing's frozen. We'll come back to it. Anyway, let's go back to the sticks here for a moment. All right, so what do we got here? Yeah, so we got AMC rotating to the downside slightly here. It's almost like it hit that 19 level, and it's like, no thanks. What? No inflation would be ideal, but they can hide the bank runs in a central bank digital currency with negative interest rates tied to the vaccine of a second. I think you're tying a lot of things together here. I don't know about that. I see the nuclear power talk here. I appreciate the discussion. I think it's awesome. Let's Let's see. You took your life savings and YOLO'd into Shift at 631. Well, let me tell you this. You bought at a lower price than where the CEOs bought. I think they were in like 650 or 660. So you're in it to win it just like they are. All right. What else do we got? What else? What else? What else? No. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RealMeatKevin. Instagram is Meat Kevin, but follow me on Twitter and TikTok at RealMeatKevin. Yeah, that's like the first time I've really pitched the TikTok. It's been fun. My Tesla videos is like 300,000 views on it. I'm like, oh my gosh, we just started posting these things like a week ago. It's fun, but of course Tesla. Anyway, Express, really nice pump here. Jeez. 11.43%. Arcimoto, good U-turn here, up 8%. I gotta get my Arcimoto video edited. Great company. EXPI 7.1%. Upstart 7.4%. Ford after those battery comments moving nicely here, 6.27%. Expecting to reduce the cost of batteries by what do we say, 40% by mid-decade? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Let's see here. Okay, Ethereum 2750, Doge 34.5, Walgreens 5%. These guys. Now we're looking at the downside here. Walgreens, Nordstrom just getting destroyed today. Yeah, I mean it's all a cycle, you know. I mean, and look at this before earnings here. Matterport getting smashed a little bit, down about 0.6%. Tesla down about 0.2, pretty much flat. Churchill's pretty much flat, slightly. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. When it's honestly under like 0.2 up or down, it's pretty much flat. I mean, beyond that, it just takes one trade and it moves. So it's hard to characterize. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, good, strong momentum here. Where the momentum is to be had. All right. Let's see what else. Let's give CNBC another shot here. What do you got?
Between the grocery business and their North American, at least retail business. I wonder if you think this is going to be more demonstrative of Andy Jassy's ability to take it.
Demonstrative. It's a fancy word.
That bring about, I guess, more impressive metrics. What are we expecting in terms of how they'll put this to use?
Look, I think these assets could be folded in quite nicely. This is not a question of infrastructure here. They have, whereas grocery stores are a whole different thing. To me, they already have film and TV shows that they're streaming on Amazon Prime. They can easily bring in this library and just make it accessible to their Prime subscribers. And then they also are essentially buying the assets of a studio, the creative assets.
Julie here reminds us, don't forget to smash the like button.
Especially their film production. Amazon has some very expensive TV series productions in the works, including a Lord of the Rings one, which I believe is the most expensive TV series ever to be made, which is in production. But I think this will allow them to ramp up the film production at a time when it's really, there's so much pressure to have new original content all the time when you're up against the likes of a Netflix and, of course, a Disney Plus now as well.
Yeah, interesting. Mike Hopkins, of course, a longtime veteran in the industry, ran Hulu for a while, will be running a much larger company in that way. Julia, thank you.
Was that Mike Hawk?
I want to move on to another story that we're keeping a close eye on this morning. That's the Exxon shareholder annual meeting and the vote that will also accompany that in terms of the board of directors. Of course, activist investor led by...
Boring.
Closed.
You're doing the math.
No, I don't
symbol
know
of the Pope's
nothing, Golden
authority.
Girls.
And out front there is fantastic. Susan, thank you very much indeed. One school official accused of white supremacy for not wanting the BLM flag in.
Okay, yeah, we are going over here.
Give their testimony. Senate Banking Committee ranking member, Senator Patrick.
It's all boring. The news is being boring right now. Nothing about the sticks. Because you know what you got about the sticks. First of all, you could have these sticks too for the low cost of you pressing that link down below to take you to meetkevin.com/Weeble. You deposit $100, they give you 2 free stocks worth up to $1,850. All you have to do, click the button down below or go to meetkevin.com/Weeble or metkevin.com/Weeble. If you don't want to type the extra E, you don't have to because both of them work. Yeah, just make sure you deposit $100. You get the second free stock, which is generally the larger of the two. that after your $100 clears. All right. Yeah, I mean, we've been pretty stable here. We've had the Nordstrom and the pharmacy sell off here a little bit. Markets broadly, I mean, the Dow is pretty much flat. I don't have the S&P fine. What's the S&P doing? I imagine it's fine. Oh, it's up. Yeah, the S&P is flat too. It's 0.01. No kidding. No kidding. So market's relatively flat with the exception of the momentum movers. That's where we're seeing the money today. It's the momentum movers. Welcome, Anthony, a newest member. Google, safest form of energy. I don't want to do it. I'm scared. I don't want to do it. We've got, safest form of energy right here. Ben Mala's face in a coffee cup. Money! Need more money! I gotta work on that. I know I gotta work on that, but man, love Ben Mala's views. 12% on AMC, GameStop, 11%. Really been trading somewhat sideways. It's kind of boring, quite frankly. It's a little like, man, like, where's the action? You know, it's like you want to watch an action movie and you get no action. Oh well. I think that means we need to jump on over to the course member live stream. So that's what we will do. We will go answer Q&A for the members. All right. I will leave now. Goodbye, everyone. I appreciate you being here. Cheers, because it's coffee.